What's happening? What's happening? Listen, today, I talked earlier in regards to the smoke that I'm doing, the 107 La Aurora. Um, but I want to say something to everyone. And what I first want to say is I appreciate all the comments and likes that I get for, you know, the product that I give to you guys. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for viewing what it is that I have to say. This is therapeutic for me because what it does is it gives me an opportunity to sit back and have conversations with like minds and things of that nature. And for people that want to listen and they can take some of the words that I say and utilize it and incorporate it into their life, I'll continue to do it. So for the ones that don't want to hear what it is that I'm having to say, hey man, no problem. You know, I'm not requiring or asking anything of you in that manner. In that manner, you know what I'm saying. But I appreciate the ones that do listen to the content that I'm producing. Give me comments, like it, subscribe to my channel, and things of that nature. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and what was said to me was so true and profound. My man, Myron, he said it to me. He said, when relationships changed as far as what the expectancy was from the female standpoint, eventually the views and way of life was going to be adapted, meaning that when changes start to occur for women, the men adapted and they made changes also. So the traditional man that you have that pays everything and provides for everything, and the ones that can provide for everything and pay for everything, they have a set guideline of rules that they want to have. Because if you want access to my provision, these are going to be the requirements that are set. Now, anybody can always assume and think that they are supposed to have whatever it is that they are supposed to have, and that they are entitled to have anything that they want to have. But people in the real world understand that anything that you want, you have to go out and work for it. You have to go out and dedicate yourself to it. Men that go out and play professional ball, it takes a certain level of dedication that they got to go through practicing, weightlifting, training, getting their body in condition, paying someone to come in and put them in the right space, to coach them the right way. They have to be able to listen to the information that is being given to them so that they can go out and get a chance to perform for the top 2,200 jobs in the world for that company. Because there's only 2,217 or maybe 2,300 people, period. There's only a 54-man roster times 32 teams. And then you got 10 to 12 that are on practice squad. So you do the math. So you're talking about that amount of people being able to make that level of professionalism and acquire that type of money for them not to be able to say, This is what I want. They bust their ass to get to that point. The same way with the guy that, when he was in school, you considered him a nerd. When he was in school, he got no play. And what he did, he busted his tail, he worked hard, he achieved himself in a certain position, he acquired himself in a certain position, wealth-wise, liquidity-wise, money-wise, to be in that position. And for him just to accept and settle anything. America, we have a problem. We have a problem with relationships. We have a problem with respecting one another. We have a problem with expectations of one another. We have a problem with people respecting cultures. People respecting an opportunity for a person to have the right to feel how they feel. I don't condone no ignorant behavior or crazy behavior. I don't condone any of that. But what I will say, and that is that people have a choice of whether or not they want to deal with the situation or they don't. Don't take the fact that grace has been bestowed to the point whereas they allow opportunity for growth. And you try to downplay that position. We got to get it together, baby. We do. We do. If you got something that's worth fighting for, fight for it. If you don't have something that's worth fighting for, get on out the way. Get on out the way. Don't keep perpetuating yourself in a situation that you think is going to change, is going to be different, and it doesn't change. If you sit here, if you sit here dealing with someone and you see that they're trying to make strides in areas of change, if you're going to give them leverage, or you're going to give them benefit of the doubt, then give them benefit of the doubt. And if you don't want to deal with it anymore, don't deal with it anymore. And just understand that, Men understand that there is low probability of someone sticking around. And that's a hard lot. That's a hard pill to bite, because we try to give hopeful nature that a person will recognize some of the things that is being said. Because a relationship requires two people. If you are in a relationship that's only one way, then 9 times out of 10 you're single and by yourself. That's the only time that you can assure yourself that you are going to get everything that you want out of a relationship. It's when you're single, because you got nobody else. You ain't got to worry about nobody else. You don't have to worry about nobody else worrying about you. You don't have to worry about nobody else checking on you. You don't have to worry about nobody else. If you get sick, take you to the hospital. And these are things that you realize and you understand as you get older. As you become a more mature adult, I need a supporting cast around. That's your choice. We got guys out here who think that they're A-type personality. You got guys out here that think that they are kings. Everybody can't be a king. Just like everybody can't be a queen. For you to place yourself in a king status or a queen status, that requires communication, understanding, and listening to what it is that your audience is saying. You take the information in, and what you do is you comprise a team together to handle that issue or concern. That's what a CEO is. That's what a king is. It's not about them per se. It is about the betterment of the community, the family, your people. That's what it's about. So, we have to understand and recognize the simple fact that if you call yourself a king or queen, that you must be able to provide provision, order, detail, solution, a lot of different things. There's going to be a lot of sleepless nights as a king because you got to worry about your people. You got to worry about your family. You got to worry about your loved ones. Are we kings? Are we queens? Are we acting like kings or queens? Everybody don't fit that requirement. Based on how I walk and how I talk and how I act and how I react to people determines what I stand for. If every time you see me I'm talking about BBLs, TNA, what kind of leader am I? And as a leader, you have to be able to accept objective criticism. As a queen, you have to be objectively identified that, hey, some situations it's not about me. So don't take it personal. If you got a person that's sitting back willing to be transparent with you, take that into consideration, that they're trying to be transparent. At least they're trying to have a conversation with you. If you don't value that, you don't judge, you don't want that, then move on. And allow for them to move on. But if a person is sitting here sharing with you things that they're trying to talk to you about, be open-minded to the point and listen. Because you will want them to do the same for you. If you have concerns, if you have issues, if you got things that you are, you know, not up to, you don't feel good about, and you want to bring it to your partner, male, female, say, hey, these are some of the things that are concerning to me. It doesn't mean that, hey, I don't want to be with you. It doesn't mean that I don't want to have a relationship with you. These are some things that I realize that it can turn differently. And why place yourself in a position that could not be detrimental? That could be detrimental to you and your relationship. That's just like seeing a child do something. You know the end result of it, and you allow for them to do it anyway. Wow. What kind of leader are you? What kind of leader are you? What kind of father are you? What kind of mother are you? If you know that your child is going down the wrong path, would you not want to pull them to the side and say, hey, listen, young blood. Listen, queen. Listen, princess. It's a choice. You can choose to continue to keep doing this, but let me give you what the end result of that is going to be. And it's going to be up to you on whether you decide that you have had enough of that or you want to make a change. Now, if you don't want to make a change, continue to keep doing it. But when enough is enough, now you have to humble yourself, because now you got to listen. And we as in people, sometimes we don't want to listen. Nah. How you gonna check me, boo? How you gonna tell me what I should be doing? I'm a grown person. Nobody can tell me nothing. Baby, I'm 56 years old, and I learn every day. I learned that I'm not perfect. I learned that I have flaws. I learned that there are things about me that some people just don't get. They don't understand. Does it make it wrong? It just means that they don't understand what it is that I'm doing. So, with me, if it's something that of a loved one that I care about and they bring it to my attention, it may take a couple of times. It may. It may take a couple of times. But guess what? If I care about that person, I'm going to at least listen. And I'm going to humble myself to the point where I got to review that and say, if I need to make change, I'm going to make change. As hurtful as it might be, as together I might think I have it, there's no perfect person on this earth. The one perfect person that we had, he died for our sins. So, we can play around and keep going through this carousel of, why am I wrong for this and wrong for that? Baby, continue to keep thinking that way. That's a lonely life. It's a lonely life when the only love that you can share with the person is with a dog or a cat. Someone who can't even communicate back with you. And maybe those are the best ones for you because you don't want to listen to anyone else's opinion. So maybe that's the reason why dogs and cats are so imperative in people's lives. Because it's the only animal that will sit back and listen to you and your nonsense and don't have any words to say about it. Because they are depending on you feeding them nurturing them, and providing provision for them. I think that is it. I think that's the reason why people will give so much love and attention to dogs instead of correcting themselves, because they don't want to have to answer to anyone. And if a person doesn't want to have to answer to anyone, can we say that they are Christians or they are people of the word? Because that means that you have no faults. You do no wrong. And it's always someone else's problem. Because you try to correct how I feel, you the bad guy. Okay. And maybe if we had discipline as children, we would understand what discipline is. The problem is that a lot of us wasn't disciplined as a child. Because the ones that were disciplined, they understood that whatever is said or whatever is done, there is judgment that goes along with it. If I go out here and I steal from someone, there are things that I have to deal with if I make a choice to break into someone's house and rob them. There are consequences that I have to deal with. If I go out here and I just hit someone randomly and no reason for all, there are consequences that go along with it. If I go out here and I am bad at the mouth, loud at the mouth, disrespectful at the mouth, there are consequences that go along with it. If I choose to go out here and have relations, there are consequences that go along with it. Understand when a person is for you, recognize who's in your corner and who's not. Understand that they got rights too. They have options too. And it goes like that. I appreciate this opportunity to allow for me to vent. This opportunity to allow for me to maybe reach someone, talk this message, and maybe one or two people will understand exactly what I'm saying. You know, I get comments throughout the time. All the stuff that I do, I get comments, and you know, man, you were spot on. I appreciate the words that you said. And that gives me the fuel to continue to keep going. I don't care if it's one or a million. I appreciate all of you guys. All of you guys that comment, like, and subscribe. I try to keep the content going the same. I try to give you content on lifestyle. I try to give you commentary on health, smell, smoke. Get yourself in order. All productive things that is needed as a support cast for things that people that are out here. Because there's a lot of people out here that don't get the support they need. There's a lot of people out here that don't get what they're asking of a person. And before I would sit back and see a person crash and burn, I would try to offer them a solution. Seek a relationship spiritually. Seek leadership to provide provision to get you in the right path. Understand your value. Understand your worth. Don't think you're more than what you are. Understand your goals, your dreams, desires, and admirations. Work hard. Don't be slothful or lazy. If there's something out there that you want, it's not going to be easy to get. If love was easy, everybody would be in love. But there's a lot of people that are not. So it's not as easy as you think. If being a millionaire was easy, everybody would be one. Nobody would choose to be in poverty. So you have to respect the simple fact of how a person got to where they got to, especially if they did it the right way. So take the words that have been said. I hope that it's been fruit to the ear and to the soul. Smoke well, my friends. Enjoy.